All right, so we're going to get started. I have everything. This is Clayton County Magistrate Court. I'm Judge Richard Brown. This is the Superior Court bar. So we're going to get started. I have everything. Okay, hold on. This is County Magistrate Court. I'm Judge Richard Brown. This is the Superior Court bar. So we're going to get started. I have everything. Okay, hold on. This is County Magistrate Court. I'm Judge Richard Brown. This is the Superior Court bar. So we're going to get started. I have everything. Okay, hold on. This is County Magistrate Court. I'm Judge Richard Brown. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. Let me try it again. This is Clayton County Magistrate Court. I'm Judge Richard Brown. Today is May 8th, 2020. This is the bond hearing calendar for Superior Court bonds. And I'm sitting back by designation as a Superior Court judge. I was standing by for the court reporter, but when she joins, we won't start before the first case. But for now, I'm going to call the calendar, and we have Assistant District Attorney Cheryl Freeman representing the state. As we call the calendar, we'll identify the other attorneys for the individual defendants. So position number 1 on my calendar is State of Georgia versus Caleb Brown.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to pre-try that with the state briefly. This is Nelson Rose with the Public Defender's Office.
Thank you very much. All right, number 2, State of Georgia versus Reuben Buchanan.
Your Honor, that's with Attorney Tessie Edwards. I don't know if she's logged in yet.
Okay, we'll stand by for her.
I'm going to try to call her as well.
Okay, thank you. Number 2. Next, we go to number 5, State of Georgia versus Jaquez Harris.
Good morning, Judge George Prothero on behalf of Mr. Harris. I'll be happy to pre-try that with the state.
Okay.
And I do have a witness that's prepared to testify if we have a hearing, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
State of Georgia versus Stephen Horn.
The public defender's office was told that that person hired a private attorney.
That's what Attorney Kayla Bumpus, and I think Ms. Leithwood, did you send the link to her by any chance?
Yes, ma'am, I sent it.
Okay, so we're just waiting to see if she's going to log on. She sent in an email. I guess that was the end of April, saying that she was representing Mr. Horn.
All right, we'll stand by. 17, State of Georgia versus Jalen Leverett.
Yes, Judge. Good morning. Leah Bossi with the Public Defender's Office. That is my case. We're here for a bond modification reduction motion. You had wanted more information. I do have a witness to call to provide that information for you. Also, the additional information you requested was attached to the bond motion, which was filed, and I can email a copy if you need one.
Please, is this something I heard earlier?
It is, Judge. You set bond at $300,000 back on March 25th. And I will send a copy of that bond motion. I've sent one to Ms. Freeman already.
And what type of information, just in general, did I request?
You requested proof of employment, proof that he was in school, and his living arrangements. He would be staying with a grandfather in Alabama. You had some questions about that. So attached to the motion, we didn't have pay stubs, but I actually had a letter from the employer offering work-based insurance. I had documentation from the school that he was a student at the time. And Mr. Colley Leverett, the grandfather, will be available as soon as I send him the Zoom link.
Okay. Those documents, you're gonna send those to me?
Yes, Your Honor, they are attached to the motion. I will send them momentarily.
All right, thank you. All right, position number 20, Antonio Matthews.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Philip Holloway. I have in here also my co-counsel, Addison Wade. We do have a consent in the case. I think we have some additional information as well if the court wants to hear it.
And who is okay, Addison.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Attorney Wade.
And Judge Antonio Matthews was on our prelim calendar from, was that one May 6th or May 4th, Philip?
It's Monday, whatever that day was.
Monday.
So I guess the 5th, yes.
That was May 4th.
It all runs together, right?
Right. And we've spoken, and Mr. Holloway has sent me different documents from different people in support of Mr. Matthews. And I think we have a consent bond. And so when Your Honor is ready, we can certainly present that to the court.
Okay, let's see. Is it just one charge?
It's just one charge of criminal damaging.
What
And
is
the victim is in agreement. We have a consent bond of $20,000.
Mhm.
And we can certainly, I could send that to the court if I think Mr. Holloway, I think I may already have a signed copy. I have to go through my emails, but if not, I could send that to Mr. Holloway and send that to Your Honor.
What is the present bond?
He does not have a current bond.
Okay. All right, so now let's go to 21, State of Georgia versus Kadarius Ali.
That case was continued, so that would be on the bond calendar later.
Okay, well, from what date was it continued from?
From May 4th.
Okay.
The prelim was continued.
I see. Did they have a new date?
The 18th of May.
Okay. Okay, next one is State of Georgia's 26 on my calendar, Esteban Pedraza.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kendra Robinson on behalf of Mr. Pedraza. Judge, he was also on Judge Dallas's calendar work, and we waived the because we want to be heard on bond. And that's just where we are, Judge. And he needs the Spanish interpreter too, Your Honor.
All right, we'll get that.
Yes, sir.
All right, number 29 on my calendar, Xavier Pittman.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Camille Reddick with Clayton County Public Defender's Office. We would like to be heard on bond, Judge.
All right. All right, and the last person on the calendar is 30. State driver is Oscar William Sales.
Yes, Your Honor, this is Andrew from the Public Defender's Office, and we reached the consent bond during the prelim. However, the judge wasn't in agreement with the consent bond amount, so we had to be put on the bond calendar.
Okay, you reached the consent bond, but Judge Dallas did what?
It wasn't in agreement with the consent bond amount.
I see, I got you. Was that from May 4th?
Your Honor.
Okay, then that completes the call of the calendar that I have. And I see Ms. Coleman has joined us. Thank you, Ms. Coleman. And we started a little bit earlier. So,
Good morning, Judge.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody scrambling to join at 8:30. 9, I believe.
And Judge, I did forward you the consent bond that Mr. Holloway and myself have signed.
Okay. Okay. Everybody just need to be aware that this is being, everybody's on screen, and plus we are on YouTube. So those background noises, we need to make sure we are in tune with that. All right. Let me ask Attorney Freeman, I'd like to address the two that have consents on first. And then from there, I know some people need to speak. So give me your recommendation on how you'd like to proceed or what you think would be most efficient.
Well, Your Honor, I think at this point, I know several of the attorneys want to talk about the cases with me. If Your Honor, and it's, let's see, 8:49 at this point, and some of them may need to speak with their clients. And I guess it's a matter of if you want to leave the meeting for a while to give us a chance to pre-try the case. And then if the attorneys want to speak with their clients, and I'll leave, and then I'll wait until I get a message to return, and then I can also send Your Honor a text when we can return. And that may give Your Honor time to review. I think Ms. Abbasi said she had sent documents. You can review the consent bond that Mr. Holloway and I have signed. And I think those are the only things for you to review at this point.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about me being able to be able to know the criminal history on those two?
Okay, do you have those, or do you need, do you want me to, I can go over what I have for Mr. Matthews? Or do you want us to try to send something to you, to Your Honor?
Yeah, if you're able to send something, that'd be good. That way,
okay,
go ahead and move forward with the discussion. So,
okay, what I'll do is I can send Your Honor what I have for Mr. Matthews. And do you need me to send anything on Leverett, or?
I don't know because I don't have any idea what I'm dealing with. So just let me just do this. I'd like to get those two attorneys first, once we really start, since they've already been, they've been waiting. I mean, they've already had a hearing and it's just some further consideration that need to be given. So why don't I just come back in 30 minutes? Let me just come back in 30 minutes and we see where we land.
Okay, in the meantime, I'll get somebody to email you the information on Matthews.
Okay, all right, so I have this 8:53. So we could just come back at 9:25. I'll be back at 9:25. And if when reviewing the two that you're sending me information, if I consent to it, then I will text you
Okay.
that I'm consenting. All right.
And
Your
Judge,
Honor,
should I go?
something about Oscar Sales?
Repeat.
What if we say something about Oscar Sales, last name Sales?
You say you want to say something?
Yes, his consent bond that we agreed to was 15,000, but his bond right now is 20,000.
I see. Okay. 15. If you don't mind, can you tell me what Judge Dallas's concern was?
I believe it was his criminal history.
20 to 15. Okay. All right. Let me look at it.
Okay.
And I'll make that one of the top, one of the priorities as well.
And Your Honor, at 9:25, should I go ahead and send the Zoom link to my witness for the modification hearing? When would you like me to do that?
Yeah, please.
Okay. All right.
All right. So thank everybody.
Judge, did you want to get an announcement from Attorney Edwards and Attorney Bumpus before you leave?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Thank you.
Okay.
Reuben Buchanan. Good morning, Attorney Edwards.
Good morning, Judge.
What's your announcement?
Well, Your Honor, the last time that we were in court last Friday, the judge had some concern that the state had not spoken to, or that she wanted to speak to the witness, Ms. Warren, in the case. I spoke to Ms. Warren the same day. Again, I talked to her 30 minutes ago to confirm that she's ready to speak to the court, or she doesn't have Zoom. She said she doesn't have access to download Zoom. My office is not allowing anyone in other than leaseholders, so she can't come to my office to speak to you, but she's on standby on the phone. Attorney Freeman has her contact information, has her phone number, so I advised her that the court or the state would be calling her this morning to speak to her. They had some concern about whether or not she wanted a bond. I spoke to her in detail. She indicated to me that she was not concerned, and that she did want no violent contact, that they share two minor children together, and that she did want contact with him, and she was not fearful of that. But I did express that the state or yourself may want to speak to her directly.
Is this witness alleged victim?
Yes.
Okay, and can you tell me, I see the charge is aggravated assault, what the act and what injury, if any?
There was no injury, but the two got into an altercation, it seems, about property, some keys in a car. And from my understanding of the police record, which I haven't seen, he shot at the house that she was inside of. I believe he shot at the house. Is that right, Cheryl? Yes, Judge. Yeah. He shot at the home, and she was in the home when he shot at. I believe the children were in the home too. I don't know where at the house, or was it, in a, I don't believe that he shot like at a door or at a window, but he did shoot at the house while she was inside the home.
Okay, I need to check that history. Is there a bond now?
On the ag assault, he does not have a bond. At the last hearing, the state inclined that they were willing. He's been in custody since September as well, but the state was inclined to offer a $40,000 bond in this case. But she could tell you what his history was. I don't know if he had any recent history, but I do believe he had a past history. I don't have a copy of the GCIC either, obviously.
Let me just say this: whenever we start, and you probably already know this, I need to know how long the person has been in jail, what their present bond, what their bond was initially, and then any reductions having been approved from the date that they were incarcerated. Okay, all right.
He has no prior reductions, Judge. And if I'm correct by looking at my notes, and Ms. Freeman can tell you if I'm correct on this, I think his current bond is $75,000.
That's correct.
And we were asking for a reduction. And so we'll be going from 75 to 40 with no violent contact with the victim.
So the first bond that was set by any judge was $75,000.
That's
Correct.
correct, Your Honor. There was a $50,000 on ag assault, a $20,000 on the criminal damage in the first degree, and a $5,000 on the criminal damage in the second degree. And there was a stay away from the victim.
There was a bond set when somebody shot in the house.
Yes, this was signed on
Okay,
on October 22nd.
they got lucky. But anyway,
And I can't make out the handwriting for the ADA who they agreed to. It was with a conflict attorney, and I can't make out who the ADA was who signed up on it.
okay, all right. Well, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Then the other attorney who I need to check with.
That's Kayla Bumpus.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right. Good morning.
How are you?
Morning.
I'm going to be representing Mr. Stephen Horn. It's my understanding that he has been in custody since February 11th, and that he has a $50,000 bond on a criminal damage to property. We are asking for a bond reduction. He has not had a bond reduction. I'm not sure of his history at this moment. I have not been able to speak with the DA in this case.
Okay. All right, so we'll allow for that. Okay, now as you can see, we got a lot of moving parts here, and now it's 9 o'clock. So let's just say at 9:30, I shall return. And in the meantime, I'll be reviewing whatever's sent to me to be reviewed. So thank you all. And we've got Ms. Bermudez. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, so.
Good morning, Deja.
Can we let her know the name of the defendant that she'll be interpreting for?
Yes, sir. It's Esteban Pedraza Cornejo.
Okay, and Ms. Bermudez, I'm going to go off until 9:30 to give the district attorney a chance to talk and for me to review some documents on a few of the cases. Attorney Freeman, as far as Ms. Bermudez, do you suggest that she return back at 9:30? It'd be her case would be one I'd like to hear first, so we won't tie her up. Attorney Freeman, did you hear me?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Could you repeat that, please?
Yes, Ms. Bermudez, to interpret, we'd like to have her go first, one of the first cases, to not tie her up when I come back at 9:30.
Okay, that'd be fine.
So if the discussion needs to take place with that attorney, please go ahead and utilize Ms. Bermudez.
Okay.
And if you text me when it gets about 9:20, 9:25, if you need more time, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be back at 9:30.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your patience and your
Thank you,
understanding.
Judge.
We'll move
Thank you,
forward.
Judge.
All right.
All right, you all, give me 1 second.
Now, Judge, to take us off live, please.
Right, yes.
Cheryl?
Okay, I heard. I'll take you off.
Thank you, Judge.
I apologize. I was on the phone. I'm sorry. What was that? Tessie, were you saying something to me?
No,
We're
Judge
waiting to
heard
get-
us. We were asking to come off of live to do the pre-trials.
Oh yeah, we're still on live.
I think we still are.
We're still on.
Okay, I've got to tell you, I'm the technology, what's the word? Technologically deprived judge. So let me see if I can figure out how to take you off. Somebody had to help me get on. So nobody here to help me get off. So let's see if I can figure that out. So I'm gonna go off and hopefully. All right, let me work on it.
Cheryl,